Hi, One Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today's Wednesday, February 10th. Sitting next to me is Mike Brenner. This is our NBA odds daily NBA odds show that we do. We got a huge card tonight, Mike Brenner. Massive card, 12 games. We could discuss probably each of these games, right?
Absolutely, I could. I need a bounce back night.
You
do. Two losses last night. Real close, though. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it because Dallas, they were winning the whole game.
Yeah.
Ended up dropping that game. And then also I had a teaser with the Spurs, did fantastic, and just didn't cover on the other end. So
yeah, and I got, we were talking about it in this show. I got burned on the under. I took the under, and actually, when the line closed on that total, I knew I was on the losing side. But it was once again.
Yeah,
I think I'm just overthinking things a little bit too much with the Spurs. Okay. Just like, unless you have a real reason not to take the Spurs, just throw them in there.
Just throw them in there. I should have done that yesterday.
What I mean? We both should be doing that.
I'm tossing them in there today.
And you at home should be. No, you at home should be doing whatever you want. All right, so let's get. We got 12. Oh my God. I'm looking at the card. 12 games on the card. I did make, once again, a bunch of bets on the overnight lines. Let's just start with let's kick things off with the first bet that I made in the overnight line. You tell me what you think about it.
All right.
I took the over in Memphis, Brooklyn, and I got it at 196.5. Now it's up to 197.5 or 198. I like that. Gasol's out for Memphis, which might make them.
That's why I like it, because Gasol's out.
Because it might make them smaller, make them faster, and of course, and also Memphis, as we've discussed in previous shows, has been a dead over team recently.
Big time.
Brooklyn has also been an over team. I have their, let me see, I don't have any notes on their specific numbers, but Brooklyn has been going over as well, and I really like that one. I would give it at 197.5 as well. What do you think about that one?
I think it's a good play because with Gasol out, that takes away that defensive stance in the middle, so I look for Brooklyn to take advantage of that. That might be a sharp call, Pete.
All right, I'll kick things off early here. I'll give it. I bet on the overnight. I bet on the overnight at 196.5. Okay. Now I am seeing 197.5 or 198, and 5 times is 198.5. I will give 197.5 over in Memphis, Brooklyn.
That's
start things off quickly. Yes.
Absolutely.
How many picks do you have tonight?
I've got 3 picks.
You've got 3 picks. Holy crap! All right, hit us with one of them, Mike Brenner.
Okay, I am going with the Spurs on the first half -4 at Orlando. Spurs opened up a little early last night at Miami, and they know how to play Orlando. And I got it at -4, and I like it. I think the Spurs are going to keep this momentum going. They really poured it on in the second half last night. I think that momentum carries over, and I love the job Skiles is doing in Orlando. But like you said, the Spurs throw them in there, so I like them on the first half. They've been covering halves. So.
It's just all there every day. The reason we don't throw them in every day is because their lines are always so high. They're an 8-point favorite on the road on a back-to-back, and Orlando covered 4 out of their last 5. Once again, I know I'm wrong, but I didn't bet it. But I'm leading Orlando +8. But the back-to-back you're not worried about.
No, I'm not really worried about back-to-back because of the youth. Obviously, Duncan's not going to be playing. They made the decision today. They're going to hold him out until after the All-Star break, but I just think everybody else is just pouring it on right now, and I like it.
All right. Okay, now let's talk about Cleveland. I don't know if you have a bet with Cleveland, but they're always interesting to talk about. You do have a good read on them, and I haven't bet this yet, but on the overnights I circled, the total was 207.5 or 208, and I wrote a note to myself, first half over might be a good bet. It's 105. I'm thinking about giving that here, even though I haven't bet it. They're a huge favorite against the Lakers. Lakers actually been covering recently, and Cleveland's been doing well. It looks like the line's dead on. Feels like they're going to cover this game between 15 and 20, right?
Could be, but you never know. Kobe's, he's on a tear as of late. It's amazing. But I heard D'Angelo Russell might not be playing tonight, so that might factor into that. But I think a first half play on that on the over, Pete's pretty good because I think Kobe's want to come out. It's his last game in Cleveland. All right, he's going to want to come out and show off early. And LeBron and them, they've just been picking pace up early in the first half anyway, so that might be good. They're not one of my picks, though, today.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what to. I feel like I've had an okay read on Cleveland totals in general, but I feel like I've gotten snake bit, always picking the wrong one in this show, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm probably going to be betting the over 105 on the first half. And then let's move to another game that I did bet on the overnight. You tell me what you think about it. And this is a team that you actually have a pretty good read on, New Orleans, right? You like them against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I feel like we both kind of have a good read on them, although I was wrong recently. You were right recently. They're at home. Utah, obviously, off a back-to-back overtime win. New Orleans has some fight to them, and I bet them on the overnight. It's 2.5 right now, and that was what I bet it at. It hasn't moved yet. New Orleans -2.5, an interesting line here. What do you think, Mike Brenner?
Ooh, I kind of like that. They picked up some momentum after that last win, and obviously they know Tyreek Evans is out indefinitely. He might even be gone for the year, so they're just going to have to not even worry about that and just focus on what they do have, who is healthy, and they look damn good last time out. Again, Utah's tired. I like that team, though. Utah's picking up some momentum.
Yeah.
God, that might be a good first half because Utah's tired. Wow, I'm thinking about
You're
adding
thinking about it right now. Hey, don't let
yeah.
me talk you onto anything.
Yeah,
but
no,
you
you wouldn't do that, but you just brought something to the light is what you did.
Yeah, but your sense is that New Orleans is generally a team, a team that you're not looking to avoid necessarily.
Exactly. No, not looking to avoid them, and they might take advantage early of the energy that Utah may not have. So I may throw that in before the show is over.
Okay, and let's bring up another game that's interesting. I did make a bet on the overnight. I don't know if it involves one of your picks or not. It's an interesting game, though. Sacramento at Philly, right? Now, Sacramento is a mess, right?
As you would say, a head case team.
Well, they're like, there's some head case teams that are like unpredictable because they're good and bad. Sacramento just seems like a mess. The team was like, okay, guys, we're having a voluntary shoot around.
4 guys show
and no
up
one
for
shows
a shoot around.
Right?
Exactly. And like Rajon Rondo said, he said, our issues are way beyond our energy because Carl's saying they don't have energy. They're not giving it their all. Hell, when you got a coach that sets up a shoot around voluntary and only 4 guys show up, that tells you that you don't have the locker room. That team's a mess.
The players are like, oh, it's voluntary? And they're like, yes. They're like, I'm staying home.
Yeah.
I'm staying home. That's not a good sign.
You think they've thrown in the white towel already?
I don't know. It's hard to get inside of the head of some of these NBA players, but it's not hard to read the ATS records.
There
right?
you go.
8 out of 9 is what Sacramento has lost. 1 and 8 against spread over the last 9.
And numbers
Philly,
don't lie.
You know, look, I haven't been dead on with Philly every game, but in general, I have a good read on them.
You do.
I did bet them on the overnight at 4.5, though. Now it's 5. I mean, if Sacramento is just like not going to really show up for this one, Philly plus 5 is a good bet, right? What do you think?
So. I was actually surprised at the line. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to play with it, but I was surprised at that line in Philadelphia. This is a team starting to get some momentum. They're not showing it in the win column, but they're hanging in there.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I like it.
I bet it at 4.5. The line movement concerns me, though. Now it's 5 market wide. Mike Brenner, hit us with another pick.
Okay, I've got one team that's going to be involved in 2 picks, all right? And it's the Hawks against the Bulls.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's see if we're in agreement.
I'm going with...
Oh, wait, no, don't say. Let's see.
Okay.
I see. There's so many games here that I missed the ones I bet. That's another one I bet on the overnight.
How many did you bet total?
A lot. Well, there's 12 games. The Bulls banged up. They're having a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I took the Hawks at -3 on the overnight pretty big. Is that who you like here?
I like the Hawks on the game. I got it at -2.5.
There we go. We got some winners here.
Check this out. Now, I can't figure this out. The game I got at 2.5. The first half, I got at -1.
Yeah.
At -1. And I think Atlanta right now, there's big talk of Teague, Korver, and Horford all getting dealt by trade deadline. They're basically giving up, saying we're not going to duplicate what we did last year. So my thought is that they want to look good going into Chicago because there's going to be teams looking at these players. And Budenholzer's not going to accept losing on a nightly basis. He's not going to do it. I think they go in there because you're not going to believe who's questionable tonight for the Bulls.
Derrick Rose.
You believe it? He's questionable. Unbelievable. So, yeah, I do, though. I like the Hawks on the half -1 and the game -2.5. I think they break out tonight.
I'm completely in agreement with you. I bet the Hawks, and I'll give it as a pick, too. I'm not in any way copying you. This was one of my biggest bets on the overnight lines. Atlanta -3, and I didn't even have a chance to bet or analyze the first half, but I would take that one as well, just because I think there's no way they lose both the first half and the second half. But I guess I'll just stick with I won't copy both of your picks. I'll stick with the Hawks -3 on the full game, and you're going to take the Hawks -3 on the full game.
No, I got it at 2.5. What are you looking at now?
Well, we have to give the lines right now.
It's at 3 all the way.
Well, it's just a little bit wonky right now. Yeah, I'm seeing 3s.
Okay, well then that's going to change my first half pick too.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, because I locked it in at 1.
Okay, we'll give you 1. I'm just saying for the full game lines, we have to give this.
Full game, I'll go with the 3.
We have so much integrity in this show. We give the lines up to the second, accurate lines up to the second. They're not stale at all. Right now, I'm seeing only -3 market wide.
Very
so we're both going to take
that.
-3 on the full game.
Absolutely.
And you're going to take -1 on the first half.
Absolutely. I
all
like
right,
it.
so we got all your picks. We got 2 picks for me. Let's see. Is there anything else?
God, there's one more I'm thinking of pulling the trigger on. I've never given out 4 picks in one.
4 picks. Wow, brave new world here on this show.
No, I'm staying off it.
Well, let's hear what but tell us what you're thinking about anyway.
I'm thinking about New Orleans -1.5 or 2 on the first half. Not for the game, but I got a feeling Utah's going to be. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
God,
I'm going to do
picks.
it. And again, I see value. I'm not stretching. I'm not reaching because I went 0-2 last night. I like this. I'm going with it. New Orleans, it'll probably be -2 on the first half.
Okay, and whatever it is, you're taking the first half, not
absolutely,
the full game.
just the half.
We'll check the odds right after this show for the first half lines, and then we will give you whatever it is. And what do you think about Cleveland first half over 105? Should I give that one?
I already told you I like that because I think they're both teams going to be running early. I think they are. It's
all right. I'll give that one. Cleveland Lakers first half over 105. Let's see. Are there any other games that are interesting that we didn't? Oh, there is a game that's here. Let's just touch on it really quickly. If you have any thoughts on it at all, Clippers at Boston. This is interesting because Boston, of course, on a back-to-back, fought back huge in the
They were down 19 in the fourth quarter.
Huge comeback. just missed out by 1 point.
Yeah.
Now they come back home to play the Clippers, who are also a team kind of in disarray, but
But
not
they're
a terrible
3-0
team.
on this road trip against the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference. So come on, they know how to play them. I was going to pull the trigger and go with the Clippers, but I think Brad Stevens is going to coach his team up
Yeah.
tonight and say last night was unacceptable. But
Very curious
stay him
line.
off
It's
of it.
close to pick 'em. Yeah.
Sure. Might be a
And
pick 'em at the
okay,
end of the day.
I guess that's about it. All right, so let's just—it's so confusing. Let's recap what our picks are. I know what my picks are. Cleveland first half over 105. Atlanta Hawks full game -3. And what was my other one? Oh yeah, Memphis and Brooklyn over 197.5. And I would probably also lean to the first half over on that one as well, which is 99.5. But I guess I'm only going to give the full game pick.
Okay.
And so
So
3
that's-
picks for me. We have 4 picks from you, Mike Brenner. Recap.
Okay, Spurs on the half -4, Hawks on the half -1, Hawks on the game -3, and the New Orleans Pelicans on the first half -2.
Holy crap, Mike Brenner. We own this 12-game card.
Well, you know what? We're both
on the
wearing green
NBA.
shirts tonight, too. That might be a
All
good
right.
sign. Green.
Well-
And take it easy on me, Charlie Chips. I got a blogger just beating me up out there.
All right, good show, Mike Brenner. We got 7 picks between the two of us. I hope we come back tomorrow and we're at least 5-2 against spread out of those 7 picks.
I'm going to think positive. I'm looking for a 4-0 night, and you know, hey, anything can happen. It's NBA, baby.
Good show, Mike Brenner. We'll be back tomorrow for the
All
Thursday
right,
card.
Pete.